and the fans all come out, and at the Sportsman's Lodge in Studio City. And I love meeting the fans because they all come up to me like you and say how much they laugh, and you make me laugh. And my whole goal as Bart throughout the years is to put the comedy in and to make somebody who's watching the show, whether it's a 20-year-old like yourself or an 80-year-old, you know, have a laugh or two during the day. Yeah. You know, everybody needs a laugh or two during the day, don't you think?
Oh yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah, so that's what I'm meant to do, and that's what I ended up doing. And I thank NBC and Ken Corday and all the guys over there for giving me that chance to, you know, to create more of a character than just a henchman. You know, to create, you know, a comedic role, which they let me do. You know, it wasn't in the writing at the beginning, and now it is. So, or it was. So it was great. And to get back to your first question, how I felt. I mean, I was walking around the set. First of all, everyone gives me these looks like, uh-oh. They all, when I was called upstairs by the producers, you know, usually you're called up by the producer for one of two things. One, for them to say that you're doing a great job, which rarely happens. And two, you're going to get axed.
Uh-oh.
And that's what happened. So he told me that in his office, and all the actors were saying, "Oh man, don't, you know, we're going to make a petition, an actor's petition. Don't go, don't leave." Deidre hugged me and said, "Who did you get mad?" In a joking way, of course. And that's, you know, that's that. So what happened was that, you know, I spent half the time on the set that day with that sword out of my chest. You know what I mean? I was walking around before the scene, and they put on that fake sword at the front of it. I thought it was filmed very realistically, the stabbing, you know, and so it was kind of funny because I avoided hugging people, because if I'd hugged somebody, they'd have gotten a sword in their in their chest. But it was very bittersweet, is the word, because I was sad. You know, I mean, when you're dying up there on stage or on the set, you know, you really feel like you are, you know, and I hope it came across that way. I thought the scene was very, you know, I thought it was well done, well shot, you know, and acted well. And Joe Mascolo really got moved too, you know, because I was laying there in his lap. And it was very a sad thing. And then after it was done and we shot the scene, the producer came out, Roy Steinberg, and said, "Steve Blackwood, ladies and gentlemen," and everybody applauded, and they asked for a speech. And all I said was that I love you all, and I hope to see you all again one day, somewhere. And then I drove out of the set. You know, I drove off the NBC lot in Burbank, and that was it. You know, but I have a lot of friends there. Teo Penglass remains a friend. Shelley Henning, the young Stephanie, is a friend. She came to a gig the other night that I was doing at a club in Sherman Oaks called Spazio. And you know, life is good. I'm doing this play, which keeps me occupied. You know, there's a lot of work to do for this, being the leading role of playing Mel in Prisoner Second Avenue at the Beverly Hills Playhouse. And so it's all good, but, you know, I'd like to get back to film and TV, and eventually I think this play is going to open up a few doors for me.
Yep. Looking forward to it. And, wow, I just want to say, big fan once again. And we got a few more. We asked some of our viewers on our website what to ask you, you know, and if you got a few questions, and we go. One question is from David. David asks, who is your favorite person to act with, like chemistry wise? Like you felt like this person, this is great.
Allison Sweeney was the best one, because we've done a lot of stuff together. She shot me in the foot recently, as you know.
Yep.
And we just had a chemistry that. She knew about the comedy. She knew how to set up the funny lines. She knew how to be serious in the moments that we had to. And she's a really good actress. And I'm so happy for her success in the other show that she's doing, that she's hosting. And you know, I just wish her the best. And she was the best one. She was the most prepared actor. She was funny, and you know, and we had a lot of laughs together, and we worked really well together.
All right, and two more questions. One more. This question comes from crap, I can't read this handwriting. Why does it say it comes from Paul? Paul asked, "Dear Steve, how'd you, like, when you first arrived on the set at Days of Our Lives in NBC? You knew nothing. Did you know anybody there, or like when
I knew nobody.
Wow.
Nobody. and I, you know, and the work that an actor has to do is to get to know everybody, to get to know the producers, to get to know the cameraman, because they're the ones that are taking the shots of you, you know, and to, you know, and to befriend everybody and be nice to everybody like you would in any normal workplace if you were selling insurance or anything. You know, politics, you just gotta, you know, get along with everybody, and that's half the work of an actor, is getting along with everybody, not getting your ego in the way. You know, if they cut your scene or they cut your lines one day, not say, hey, those are my lines, you can't cut, you know what I mean? It's like if the show's running long and they need to cut something and it's you, that you just have to take it, you know, and it's all for the good of the show overall.
And one last question. One last question comes from Jeff. Jeff asks, since you doing all different kinds of different appearances and all these kinds of shows, do you ever think about doing anything with professional wrestling, not in a wrestling way, but as in like in a talking role?
I think Bart should be a wrestler, Black Bart, with a black mask on.
Yes.
And just get whooped all the time. You know, just get whooped, and the fans would come all over. But to seriously answer your question, no, I've never thought about being a host of a professional wrestler or anything like that. Although I do see that when I watch it sometimes, that it's very funny, and you know, and those guys are actually quite funny because they take it all so seriously, which is what I think the secret of comedy is to not to make goofy faces or whatever, but to pretend to be serious, you know, and then you're doing this outrageous thing where you're pretending to be serious when you're Igor, the welterweight wrestler, you know, and you want to kill somebody and you're snorting, and I think that's really funny. You know?
I think Jeff has a good point. I mean, I think it'd be funny if you were some sort of like a manager for a wrestler and you're like, you know, doing the whole Bart thing. I think that'd be great, you know.
I think it would be great in a television show, or not necessarily on a real wrestling show, but in a plot for on a situation comedy or something like that. I think that's a perfect role for him. Tell Jeff he's totally, his casting is right on.
All right, I will do that. And thanks again for joining us in this exclusive interview. Thanks again. Oh, one more thing. Man, you were awesome, and I'm gonna keep
to that Bring Back Bart petition. You know,
yes,
just for the heck of it. See how many names we can pop onto that. You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all my friends on my friends list, and I'm gonna tell everybody to sign the petition, get you back. And thanks again. And people that don't even know who you are, or.
That was the legendary Steve Blackwood from Days of Our Lives. Wow, hope everybody enjoyed the interview. We're sorry that the interview got cut off like that due to technical problems, but you can hear the entire interview uncut. You just head on over to DoorStarvation.com/Steve Blackwood.